So you've been a cam model for a while and you've made the executive decision to decide to go to Exotica. And you're wondering what to expect, specifically probably what to wear, and kind of like what it's all about. Well, that's why I made this video, because when I decided to go to Exotica, I was so confused on what to expect, what I should bring, what I should wear, and it was just really hard to find any information on the internet to kind of describe how it was going to be. So I recently went to Exotica, New Jersey, and I'm not 100% sure that all of the conventions are the same as the one in New Jersey, but I have to say I was expecting something kind of huge, more like an outdoor event or something like that. This was indoors. It was very, very cold in New Jersey, so I'm really glad that they decided to do it indoors. I'm not sure if they do it outdoors, but think like a regular convention where there's separate booths and they try to sell you things in each booth, and there's like a little stage, and it's probably not what you're expecting. You're thinking Exotica is like this whole huge gigantic event, and it's kind of just more so this, depending I guess on the building, but when I went it was kind of small. Like I walked around and I pretty much covered the whole grounds of the convention within like 30 minutes or so. And I'm not saying it's not fun. It's super fun, and there's a lot of things to catch your attention. There are a lot of models walking around that are gorgeous that you can stare at. There are a lot of men walking around that kind of want to stare at you. There's different sections for different things. So like there's a BDSM section, and then there's where the vendors are, where the sex toys and things are, and then there's a giant stage where they perform performances, obviously, and they kind of do different things. Since it was close to Halloween, they were doing a lot of Halloween related performances. There was some stripping, well, not really stripping because you're not allowed to be nude, but there was some strip pole dancing, and there was a lot of booty shaking, etc. There was a few competitions, and it was definitely interesting, definitely something I think that every cam model should experience. But how should you dress for this event? As a performer, I personally went and I dressed in lingerie, and a lot of the models there and a lot of the performers there and a lot of the porn stars there are dressing the same way as you. They're going to be dressed in stockings, thigh highs. I saw a lot of thongs. I saw a lot of fishnets. I saw a lot of skimpy outfits. There are designated women for specific poles that they dance on. The guests that were in the building, however, if you're not a performer and you're just going as a guest, were actually very casual. They wore jeans and a t-shirt. You could tell who was part of the convention to work and who was part of the convention to observe. I had a lot of fun while I was there. I don't necessarily know if they serve alcoholic beverages because I looked everywhere and couldn't find any, but they have a lot of interesting things. They have sex toys that you can purchase. They have a lingerie section that you can buy little cute flirty things if you want to. They have pretty much anything in the sex industry. They have like a little booth that you can go to and purchase things from there. They also have a lot of porn stars that you can meet that have their photo kind of like posted as like a giant poster board, and you see what they look like all airbrushed and everything, and then you can meet them in person. I believe it cost a specific amount of money to take pictures with them, but to just walk by and to look at them, I mean, it's an experience for sure. You get to see what they look like, you know, in real life, and you see that everyone is just completely human. do have to say that the lighting for the New Jersey convention was fluorescent lighting. It was kind of like the worst kind of lighting in my opinion. So if you're like thinking that it's going to be dark, no, it's not going to be dark. It's more like a cafeteria kind of lighting. Everyone around you, you'll see that everyone is so human. Like, we look and we see these models on the screen and we think that they're perfect, but then you look at these porn stars up close and you see that they are, you know, they're just regular human beings. Everyone has their own imperfections and insecurities. There are many beautiful people walking around in different costumes. There were some people dressed up as like steampunk and sexy steampunk clothing. If you want to go as a model, I would suggest wearing something sexy. If you're insecure about a certain part of your body, still wear something sexy, but just kind of cover up the parts that you're insecure about. Everyone there is extremely open-minded. Everyone there is actually a lot more friendly than you would think. I actually went there and had a few conversations. They had a station where you can kind of like see and observe the whole being tied up, being flogged, which is kind of like being spanked, where you can sign up to be spanked, and I actually did that. It was a lot of fun. And it's an experience, and I definitely think that it's one that as a cam model, if you're really going to be serious and consider your job and take it seriously, then you should try it out and go. But I was looking before I went and I was so nervous because I had been asked to broadcast, and you are going to need to bring your laptop, your camera. They don't provide those things for you. It is very loud there, so it's going to be hard for you to be heard on camera when you're broadcasting. I would suggest bringing a microphone if you have one. I didn't get grabbed or groped, but I have heard that some people have before, and when I talked to one of the performers who was performing on stage, she told me that she was being grabbed and groped. So I would just open your mind to the consideration that people are there to observe you and they might not respect your personal boundaries. For me, I didn't have an issue, but it's something to consider if you're going to go to this event. If you are a performer, I would suggest getting in contact with the company that you work for. They will most likely give you a free pass to get in for nothing, and so all you have to pay for is the way to get there. And I mean, it's a great opportunity for you to market yourself. If if you go the extra mile and make a pamphlet or something of that nature, there are a lot of people walking around. There are going to be people that come up to you and ask you what you work for, what you're doing. There are going to be people that walk up to you and try to sell you something from their own specific booth. I wouldn't consider that it's going to be this gigantic thing, because for New Jersey it was small, but I still think it's fun. I still think it was enjoyable, and I still think that it's something that everyone should try at least once. So I hope that this was at least a little bit helpful for you. My experience at Exotica, New Jersey, I'm not sure if all of them are different, but as far as the questions and concerns that I had, I wanted to address them in this video so that you cannot go through the same confusing situation that I went through, scouring high and low, looking for information on what to wear, what to do, how to act, etc., etc. I hope that this helps you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.